gana action. Niba ushaka kwiga indimi, gana action. Ushaka kuba umusirimu, gana action.
Everyone, so welcome again to Action Coach. I am called Teacher Jandoje. I am an English teacher from Action Coach. So you might have been wondering what to do to be good at speaking English. So stay steady because after today's lesson, you will be able to speak English. So today, we're going to be dealing with conditional. So let's get started. As you can see, conditional is a sentence composed by two clauses. So namely, we have dependent and independent clause. So dependent clause tells us about the conditional. Dependent clause tells us about conditional. So while the main clause or independent clause tells us about the result. So there is something important that you have to know. The order of the clauses doesn't matter, meaning it doesn't change the meaning of the sentence. So conditional sentences or conditionals are mainly divided into 4 different types. So the first type is zero conditional. What is zero conditional? So zero conditional is normally used when we talk about things that are generally true, especially for laws and rules. So the structure of this type, you must have either if or when plus present simple, then present simple again. It means while forming the zero conditional, you must have two clauses conjugated in simple present. For example, ice melts if you heat it. Ice melts if you heat it. So when the sun goes down, it gets dark. If I drink too much coffee, I can't sleep at night. If I drink too much coffee, I can't sleep at night. So when you look at these examples, you find out that all of them are talking about the general true or laws, right? So the second type is first conditional. As you can see, we use this type when talking about future situations we believe are real or possible. So if you are talking about situation you believe is real or possible, you need to use the first conditional. So the structure of this type is, first of all, you're supposed to have if or when plus present simple. Then you add future simple. Okay? It means the first clause must be in present simple while the second is in future simple. Let's look at the example. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, we will go to the beach. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, we will go to the beach. Okay? The second example, Arsenal will be top of the league if they win. Arsenal will be top of the league if they win. When I finish work, I will call you. It means I will call you after finishing my work. The last example is If my kids perform well, I will take them to Paris. To mean that if they don't perform well, I won't take them to Paris. So this is condition. This is condition. So performing of my kids here is considered as condition. Then there is something here that you were supposed to know about the first conditional. When using or applying conditional, I mean the first conditional, it's common to use unless, as long as soon as, or in case, instead of using if. Means, apart from using if, you can use unless, as long as soon as, and in case. So let's look at the examples here. The first example says, I will leave as soon as the babysitter arrives. The babysitter is the person hired for looking after the children or the babies while the parents are not around. The second, I don't want to stay in London unless I get a well-paid job. This means if I don't get a well-paid job, I will not stay in London. I will give you a key in case I'm not at home. This means when I'm not at home, I will give you a key. You can go to the party as long as you are back by midnight. This means when you will have arrived by midnight, if you arrive before midnight, you will be able to go to the party. Right? Let's continue with the next conditional. So the next conditional is second conditional. What is second conditional? As you can see, we use this type of conditional when imagining or when we imagine present or future situations that are impossible or unlikely in reality. So we have the structure of this type. The structure is if plus past simple plus would, then infinitive verb. When we say infinitive verb, you have to understand the verb which is not conjugated. For example, if I studied hard, I would pass national exams. If I studied hard, I would pass national exams. This means I did not study hard, but if I did, I would pass national exam. As it said in the meaning of this type, we use this when we are talking about the impossible or the situation which is unlikely in reality. In reality, I did not pass. If my brother told me he was coming to visit me, I would stay home. Actually, my brother could not tell me he was coming to visit me. That's why I couldn't stay home. The next example is if she went to school by motorbike, she would arrive on time. If she went to school by motorbike, she would arrive on time. It means she was late. So there is something very important here that you have to know is when if is followed by the verb to be. It is grammatically correct to say if I will, if she will, or if it will. So you might have heard many people making this mistake saying if I was or if he was, but that is grammar mistake. So it means whatever subject that you might have, you are supposed to use were in conditional. Let's look at examples. Oh, the first example says, if I were you. You see here, actually we have first personal pronoun, but we have to use were instead of was. If I were you, I would not mention it. If she were prime minister, she would invest more in schools. She would invest more in schools. Now, so let's take a look at the last type, which is third conditional. What is third conditional? As you can see, we actually use this when talking about something in past that didn't happen, or something that we did not do yet we were supposed to do. In other words, we are regretting to not have done it. So the structure of this type is if plus past perfect, then modal verbs would, could, or should, plus have, then past participle. Let's look at examples. If I had understood instructions properly, I would have passed the exam. If I had understood instructions properly, I would have passed exams. It means here, I regret to not have understood well the instructions. We wouldn't have got lost in my phone if my phone hadn't run out of battery. It means here, we also regret that our phone was running out of battery, so we got lost. If I had listened to my heart, I should have kissed her. This means I'm regretting. Actually, I could not kiss her because I couldn't listen to my heart. The last example is, we could have won the competition if we had practiced enough. This means also we regret not having practiced enough. So I hope you had fun learning English with us. So I would like to thank you for your participation. So I am really pleased to have had you in today's lesson. Thank you.